Well, the Treasury Department is warning that a debt default that could come on October 16th, according to the Treasury Secretary, could trigger economic calamity. We're here tonight to expose the debt ceiling truth, if we may, tonight. To put it in perspective for us, the government has, first of all, revenue per month of $250 billion. The debt interest payment is $30 billion. And President Obama has the power to prioritize spending and pay not only the debt interest, but Social Security, our service members' salaries, Medicare. And joining us now to guide us through all of this is David Stockman. He is the former head of Office and Management and Budget under President Ronald Reagan. David, it's great to have you with us. And we are also joined by Chris Edwards. He's Director of Tax Policy Studies at the Cato Institute. It is terrific to have you here, Chris.
Thanks, Lou.
David, let me turn to you first. How can there be so much hyperbole and so much, frankly, what a good friend of mine calls gross over-exaggeration about this?
Well, that's the right word for it. I think if we cut to the chase and make clear, there will be no default on the public debt unless President Obama orders it, because he has the power to allocate or prioritize the revenue coming in, and therefore October 16th is a phony date designed to lever the Congress and to intimidate the Republicans who are finally trying to stand up for the future of this country and stop the massive increase in debt. Now, there is no constitutional feature that says he can't allocate if we're out of debt ceiling. There is no law that says he can't. And I can't imagine the Supreme Court is going to step in with a restraining order and say, you can't use 10% of the revenue coming in to pay the debt, and then beyond that do some other things. Now, why is the Beltway so strongly opposed? Because it would force a negotiation over time to get some real change and reform to stop the entitlement machine. And that's
which has occurred.
That's what they're hiding.
Which has occurred over our history. Chris, your thoughts, the idea that default is now being characterized in such dramatic and frankly, administration employing such rhetoric of fear. I mean, this is a real contrast with a man who was elected on hope and change to be engaging in this kind of, I'll say what it seems to be, fear-mongering.
No, that's exactly right. And for one political party to use either a government shutdown or the debt limit to try to get some policy proposals of theirs considered by the White House is an entirely reasonable thing that's happened many times during David's tenure in the White House and in the 90s as well. So this is a normal thing. I mean, the problem here is that President Obama and the Democrats excluded the Republicans from the Obamacare policy right from the beginning. Obamacare got no Republican votes in the House or Senate, and ever since, President Obama has made these unilateral decisions on changing Obamacare. So the Republicans, of course, feel excluded. And so they're doing what I think is reasonable. Is they're using the leverage that is available to them to try to get some changes in this bad law.
I want to talk to you both about the position that there have been two reports. We talked earlier with Congressman Doc Hastings, who said that there is no baked-in deal on the continuing resolution or a number, and that the shutdown will go on because the leadership is absolutely committed to maintaining their position and that there is solidarity. But the truth of the matter is that there is no way in the world this can go on beyond the date 17 October if the Republicans don't feel they're going to win in the public opinion polls. And right now, Mr. Obama is losing badly.
Right. But I think that's why we're into the accelerated fear-mongering. That's why we're into the name-calling, because the establishment dreads the day when it becomes clear that there is no Armageddon, there is no default, the president will pay the interest. It's only $30 billion, 10% of the total revenue coming in. and therefore the playing field will change dramatically in terms of negotiation.
So you're convinced.
This is a defining moment.
Now, you've gone through
Yes,
this in,
yes.
in the Reagan administration, and one of the things that many people may not know about the history of these contests of political will between the two parties on debt ceilings is that Democrats have challenged the administration far more than have Republicans. Do you believe that, very succinctly, very quickly, do you believe that the Republicans will stand up and will prevail?
I certainly hope they do. The record isn't great. They've folded time and time again, but maybe now they realize they have a chance to stop this entitlement machine before the debt gets totally out of control.
Chris Edwards, you get the final word on this.
Yeah, it is entirely reasonable what Republicans are doing here. Obamacare will be a massive change to the healthcare system and the economy in future decades and years if it's not repealed. So it's entirely reasonable to have some short-term unpleasantness with the budget process here to repeal a very bad law. It is very reasonable.
I love that phrase, short-term unpleasantness. Thank you very much, Chris. We appreciate
Thank
you being
you.
here. David, thank you. Both of you. Come back soon.